So we're group 2, and this is the problem we'll be working on.
How do we start this problem?
So we start by writing the chemical equation for the problem. This equation, we have to use magnesium with sulfuric acid and it forms, so we do the next part of the equation. It releases hydrogen and magnesium sulfate. So that's the equation.
Okay, so do we need to balance the equation?
We got lucky. This equation's already balanced because there's 1 of magnesium on each side, 2 of hydrogen, and 1 of each SO4 on each side. So this equation's already balanced.
What do we need to figure out the mass of this?
Alright, so we have to start with what we know, which is 0.25 grams of magnesium. And then we'll convert it to moles. Convert it to moles through the mole ratio to get the moles of magnesium sulfate, and then convert it back to grams so we know the mass of the precipitate. Start the first part of the problem and convert grams to moles.
Wait, how do we find the mass of magnesium?
You can figure it out by going to the periodic table and looking for magnesium, and the mass is 24.31.
The mole ratio.
Wait, the mole ratio? What's the mole ratio?
To get the mole ratio, we need the coefficients of magnesium and magnesium sulfate to make the ratio. But in this case, they didn't have any coefficients, so the ratio is 1 to 1.
Why aren't you looking at me? Look at me.
Next, we need to convert the moles back to grams to find the mass.
How do we find the mass of this?
So we need to add together the mass from the periodic table of magnesium, the mass of sulfur, and 4 times the mass of oxygen, which comes out to 120.34.
Okay, so I do 120 grams over 1 mole.
Cancel the labels that are the same above and below the fractions. So grams of magnesium, moles of magnesium, and the moles of MgSO4. Now that the only thing left is the one we want, which is grams of MgSO4, we can multiply through and then divide by 24.31. Significant figures, it comes out to a grand total of 1.2 grams of MgSO4.